So I've been continuing to think about some of the sharing that I did a few days ago about reframing some of the decisions that we make in our life by using the words "I choose," to realize that a lot of our language, at least in the Western culture, there's I need, I must, I have to, I really should, sort of sets the framework on sort of narrowing down our field of possibilities and also affecting very strongly the states of our mind. So last night, Venerable Chi and I have been doing a meditation class in Coeur d'Alene, and this has come, we presented it last week, and people have been doing a lot of deep thinking about how to use the words "I choose" in their lives and what it actually does as far as transforming the mind. And so there are three things that I've been thinking about that I, from my small experience of using this word externally and internally, are understandings that I think that are helpful for me. The first one is that if I decide to use the word "I choose," it doesn't mean that I'm going to make another decision. You know, whatever I thought I should do or I must do or I need to do, by the fact that I want to reframe it and say "I choose," I still may decide to do the decision that I thought I was obligated to do. So choosing doesn't mean you're going to take a different tack. You know, it's very much an internal thought transformation process. That's the first thing that I have found to be helpful. The second one that came up last night too is that if we decide to start using the word "I choose" in our lives, because I find that it empowers, that it gives me a sense of responsibility, but not in a tight way, and that it actually opens up my field of prerogatives. But it may not, in fact, you could almost guarantee it's not going to change the external. So by me saying "I choose to do this," like I choose to take another job that's been offered to me. This is what I understand I'm going to have as far as a better salary or other benefits. The situation may not show up the way that it was even said to me. That because I decide to choose, it's just suddenly the external conditions are going to all start to ripen in a very positive or, quote, negative way. There may exactly be the same. In fact, they make it much more difficult. But the way in which I frame the situation, the way that I work on my mind in relationship to it, is what the words "I choose" are basically helping. It's not like if I say "I choose," suddenly things are going to get better or worse out there. They're going to stay the same. It's my mind that's going to change. And then the third thing that came up last night that I think is very powerful is that one of our Dharma friends really thought through a very important decision in her life, that she felt overall that she would make this choice because of the overall benefit of a number of beings. And so she went ahead and made this choice. And what happened is that some unfortunate circumstance arose as a result of her choice. And her heart is breaking and she feels guilty. So we make a choice that sometimes affects other people's lives, choosings, and something goes awry, or maybe there's suffering, the relationship changes, there's some pain, there's some hurt, some disconnect, or some misfortune experienced from their side. As long as my intention was to be of the greatest benefit and to do it from an open heart, I can't control the karma of other beings. I may be a cooperative condition to what happens by my choosing, but I can't own or take responsibility for what happens in other people, other beings' lives. And to not get wrapped up in that, I made this choice, oh my goodness, look what happened to that person, that situation, I feel so guilty, oh my God, what have I done? So we can't fall back into then choosing becoming more responsibility for our lives, including the whole universe then, because I've made this choice. So I find that by looking at these three things, so far I see as understandings that come with trying to change my framework, my parameters, my filter on how I perceive my life, is that it helps me to keep my the expectations realistic, keeps me very deeply understanding that karma is involved. No matter how much I choose, there is still a lot of karma that is going to ripen in a lot of different ways. And that it's all about how I bring my mind and heart to the situation. That's the most important, whatever the outcome. And so for me, I think learning how to use I choose is for me to open up my narrow field of opportunity on how to respond to whatever arises in my life due to my own karma.